Hey guys, Race here, coming back at you with a real quick tutorial on something that's really useful, but a lot of startup graphic designers really don't know how to do it properly. So I'm going to show you how to properly render and save a YouTube background. So I have a background here that I just did for a client. And you're going to first go up to, once you've done all your curves, everything, you're completely done. You're going to go up to File and then Save for Web and Devices. A lot of people go straight to Save As. It's the wrong thing to do, believe me. Go to Save for Web and Devices. Let's wait for this to show up here. Okay, so this is going to bring up a dialog. It's going to give you a preview of your document and tons of options. This can be kind of overwhelming at times, but what you have to understand is these are the tools that real graphic designers use when they're going to publish professional work. This is how they tweak and tune the final product. There's a lot more than just putting something on a document and saving it. There's a lot more than that. So first, up here, this is what you're going to want to look for. There are some options here, some format options: GIF, JPEG, PNG8, PNG24, and WBMP. The things you're going to want to pay attention to is PNG8 and PNG24. I will show you JPEG in a second, but let's pay attention to these at first. So the first thing you want to do is go straight to PNG24. Now, if your BG, your background, has a lot of stock images on it, it has a ton of textures, it's an intense background with tons of things in it, it's going to make it a very large file. YouTube accepts up to 1,000 kilobytes of a PNG. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They accept to about 300 kilobytes in JPEG, but about up to 1 megabyte or 1,000 kilobytes with the format PNG, because they're different formats and they render differently. So PNG24 is going to give you the best quality. Okay, this is your first option to go to, and as you can see, this background happens to be a little bit over the limit, 1015 kilobytes. So that's a shame. It's very frustrating. The first thing you could try if you're in this kind of situation is actually go back in and try removing some of the stock images that aren't necessary, maybe making this module all black so that it conforms to the background, and just trying some things to make it a smaller file. It'll work, especially when you're 15 kilobytes over the limit. But if you're a lot more over the limit, which does happen, you want to go down to PNG8. That's the next step down. So when you go to PNG8, there are a few less colors that you get to choose from, but it will give you a lower size file. The quality will be a little less. You won't be able to tell in this video, but it'll start to look a little bit grainy in some backgrounds, but most of the time it isn't really a problem. So don't worry too much about going down to PNG8. You really don't need to mess with all of these. Colors should always be at 256. And just go all the way down. Image size, this is based on what size your template is. You don't want to mess with any of this. And then once you're sure that your size is under 1,000 kilobytes, you click Save. That's going to direct you to where you want to save it. Worst case scenario, you have a huge file, and maybe it looks terrible in PNG8, beautiful in PNG24, and you have to settle for that PNG8. Well, before you settle for PNG8, go to JPEG. I've found that sometimes an image that looks great in PNG24 but has to go to PNG8 and it doesn't look good in PNG8 can end up looking better in JPEG. JPEG kind of blurs things a little bit. You won't be able to tell it once again in this video, but it kind of blurs things instead of making them pixely. So it ends up looking better in some scenarios, and it makes a smaller file. So you can go make sure your quality is at maximum or very high. You can adjust the quality by number over here and tweak with what you can do. Also, when you're dealing with JPEG, you can click this button up here. You can go optimize the file size, and you want to put 300K in, but that's only for JPEG. Remember, the limit for JPEG is 300 kilobytes. The limit for PNG is 1,000 or 1 megabyte. When you're done with that, you click Save. You save it to where you want. Last thing I have to say is you can click these tabs to give you comparisons of your production product and your final product. It'll give you a comparison between the two. You can even put 4 up. I've never really dealt with these different settings, but it shows you the comparison of how they'll look differently. And that's how you create your best possible background and save it properly. Thanks, guys. This has been Ray's. Also, I want to remind you to check out my network that I started about 3 weeks ago called the Flexx Network. We have 4 divisions currently. We have a gaming division, we have a graphic design division, we have a music division, and we have an editing division for editors, editing OCEs, montages, etc. Make sure to subscribe to all the channels. It really helps. We're growing really fast. And also apply if you think you're good enough. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later.